I was talking about how there's a cost to remote work, right? Apart from just say paying someone low income because let's say they are from a different country, and the country has low cost of living and whatnot and low income salary in general. You can pay them less, but then it comes at a cost, right? The cost is basically the time zone difference, the time zone gap, wherein you understand that okay, there's going to be some difficulty in actually communicating synchronously. Like when you are sleeping, they're probably awake, and when they are sleeping, you are probably awake and whatnot. The circadian rhythms can be actually messed up in case you are actually trying to be awake when you're actually supposed to be sleeping and whatnot, right? And of course, the communication cost, right? If you hire someone remotely, they are really good, skilled, and whatnot. But if they are not able to communicate with you clearly, and they are not able to understand what you're saying, and you're not able to understand what they're saying or what they're typing and whatnot, then it's going to be really hard. Actually, communication is really important in the modern era, right? Though a lot of people might say that remote work is the way to go, a lot of people advocate for remote work. It's important to understand that it comes at a cost, and communication is key. And remote work, not everyone can do it. People need to understand how to make remote work successful. There's actually there are many books around remote work. There are many courses and a lot of content around the internet around remote work. One of the books and content that I like is about remote work is from this company called 37 Signals. I think it's by I forgot the name of these two people. Two people who basically founded the 37 Signals company. They are really big advocates of remote work. They have a book called Remote and Remote Work, and they have different books. Most of the books have some content around remote work, and one of the books is only for remote work. And they really know how to get their work done remotely. And there are a lot of remote companies out there. For example, GitLab is a remote company, and then Timescale is a remote company. These are actually software-based software companies, SaaS companies, software as a service companies. There are a lot of companies, software and otherwise, that are remote and globally available, and that hire almost anywhere and everywhere. But they have their own ways, their own rules. For example, GitLab pays differently for each and every person in different locations. Some companies pay the same amount regardless of the location they are in, but just based on the skills rate. Both has its own pros and cons for the people and for the company, right? The company will actually take quite some hit, depends, right? So GitLab actually has a good reasoning on why they don't actually pay the same amount for the same skill set. Even though people have the same skill set, but they don't pay the same amount, mostly because of the cost of living, and hence the pay is different. Cost of living from where they are. Someone might say, why does it matter that where I'm living in? Well, the thing is, if you live in a low income, low cost of living place and you get paid a lot, someone from the US might be like, well, they might be like, this person is able to actually save so much. I'm not able to save a lot because my cost of living is really high. So you have to pay me a lot so that I can also have so much savings. Yeah, I mean, they might lose on the talent in other places where the cost of living is really high, right? So it's a tricky thing, yeah. And yeah, I mean, communication is key, and the way you work remotely is key. 37 Signals companies talks about how written communication is very important, and communication skills are very, very important when hiring remotely. And how you work remotely, for example, meetings and whatnot, how you have meetings and how you don't have meetings, what meetings you cut off and destroy versus what meetings are actually important, and how you work in what process and what ways, depending on the kind of work you do and whatnot. They are as like software-based service companies. I mean, more like software as a service company. They build a product as a service, so they provide that product as a service, and SaaS company, and they talk about how they build products and how they build their software, right? So yeah, I mean, remote versus office, there are a lot of intricate details, and people might not be seeing the details, but the reality is there's a lot of details to look at, and it's not just as simple as, hey, I'll work from my house versus I'll work from the office. Not as straightforward as that. So yeah, that's all I had for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.